So it's interesting because, in that context, we just sang along, and the people watching from around the world, we just all danced and sang along with the song, Earth, Wind, and Fire song, "You're a Shining Star," or "Shining Star." And, it's just, to me, it's a fabulous song, and it says everything we need to know about ourselves. And even the parts of the song, you're going to struggle at times. You're going to have days that are a struggle, but it's okay. Always remember who you really are. Now, on earth, we sort of come up with ways to try to feel that. So we kind of go, okay, if I say to you, you're really beautiful, you're valuable, you're a great soul. It sounds very encouraging, almost like spiritual coaching, spiritual life coaching. You can do it, and yes, you're a shining star. And so on earth, we easily disconnect and create our own versions of rooting each other on, like, you can do it, you're a shining star. Let's remember, that's really good. The opposite is horrible. That you're nothing, you don't deserve, and so on. So you're a shining star is perfect. But that's still the human perception of you're a shining star. Imagine the real picture of what that means. You're a shining star. What it really means is that God actually created you in its image, and that's why you're not a shining star because we hope. Some of us are hoping that you find value and worth. You're a shining star because of who you really are. Right? Who you really, capital R, who you really are. And that sets us apart from all the opinions we have. It's interesting because I just did my Friday night live things, presentations. And I talked about some of these things that are out there, like, that are sort of saying you're a shining star, but they're saying in the human, encouragement sense. But there's these things that are going around, have been going around for a few years now, laws of prosperity, laws of abundance, laws of manifestation, law of attraction, all these kinds of things. And they're very cool. The opposite, again, is not so cool. The opposite, meaning you're unworthy, is clearly not a good option. But please remember that these things that do come along, that do sound really good and encouraging and uplifting, they're great or good from a human standpoint. They're a happier dream. They're a happier illusion, but they're still not all the way there. They're still not reflecting everything we choose to have reflected to us. Meaning, the law of manifestation or the laws of attraction, these kinds of popular notions, these ideas that you can manifest anything. It's, we had some people kind of call in, write in and all that and say, but I've heard, because of these teachers and teachings and books that are out there, the channelings, I've heard that you are God. No, not the one who thinks it's hearing this. It's like in really advanced forms of Buddhism. You kind of look within and you go, oh, there's my inner self. And then you go, well, I'm just paraphrasing, but the fact that I'm seeing my inner self and I can see it, it's still not the God self. And then you go further and you go, well, now I'm observing that it was my false self, so now I'm definitely in the God self. No, because you're still observing that you're observing. And you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. There are lots of people in here. Like, this is like Sybil squared. Like, we have all kinds of, we have a host of dysfunction and voices, and some of them are happier than others. But if there's still a defined self, even though it's a nicer self, if there's still a defined self, then we still have this thing going on, this wrestling with, okay, now I'm a happier. Yes, guys, it is a happier self. But just because you say, I'm now going to create, I read in this book or saw this video that says, I can create anything. And what one person said was, no, man, Michael, you must be wrong here. Because when we say we're creating, and when you create something, especially if it comes true, it had to have come from God. Wow. When our team, that works on these things, they sent me the message, and I was like, oh man, we're more messed up than I thought. Because there are people, and they even like me, watching and so forth, but they can't hear that one part when Michael goes into that kind of tirade about that sort of thing. You have an ego that can also manifest things. Jesus, didn't your first 5 marriages tell you that? You have an ego. Sorry. You have an ego. The ego can manifest In A Course in Miracles, it's called you create with God, or co-create with God, and you make believe with your ego. You can make stuff up. Only love is truly creating. And when you co-create, when you choose to create something from a state of love, then you are indeed accessing God within. If I'm in a state of fear, I am not accessing God. I don't care if I can manifest the thing. There are people that go out and rob banks. Look, I manifested a bag of money. It's not theirs. They're not prosperity conscious. They stole it. It's not theirs. You can't, like I said before, you can't take heaven by force. You can't say, I am, because a book said, because this teacher said. And it's so beautiful. I mean, it's so eloquent, some of these teachings. They'll say things like, beloveds. Where I'm like, what? My way of teaching is like, what? But they're like, beloveds. And people go, oh, I like that. They're talking nice to me, Beloved, you are the creator of the created within the creation of being, or whatever. People are like, oh, that sounded so bizarre. I like it, and then they say things that are just lofty. You are one with God, so anything you choose is God choosing. Oh, I like that too, because that allows me to do anything that's ridiculous and not feel funny about it, not feel odd about it. Learn to recognize the difference between being in the God self and not being in the God self. That failure to see that is what gets us into trouble. And again, all of those teachings are beautiful, I believe, especially since they've taken people from spiritual dark ages into something decent. So I absolutely think they're cool. But when somebody's trying to teach you about co-creating and they leave God out of the picture, something's wrong. Just like, and you bear with me on this one because this is kind of a hard-hitting one, anytime you have a healing art, because the only things you ever need to heal are the things that the ego has taught us to identify with, as opposed to what God teaches us to identify with, right? Love and wellness. Your wellness is going to come when you're in the consciousness of God. But when you're not in the consciousness of God and you're in the ego, it creates fearful stuff, fearful decision making, which brings negative results. And some people say, but that's still God. No, it isn't actually. People have a hard time understanding that God can be just love, not love and the opposite. In God, there is no opposition. There's no duality. And we just forget that. And so people have to make up books and stories and channelings where they go, no, God's everything. So God is, and they name these things, and people go, well, it must be true. No, it isn't. God is not a racist. God is not sexist. God is not hateful. So people that sold millions of books on this planet to people who couldn't accept anything more were really happy that they could sell that to people because it made sense. Well, if God is everything, then that means God is everything, right? Hate, fear, racism, rape. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because people are so far removed from God, they cannot believe that God is just good, just love. So where the word God comes from is good. Good comes from God. It is just God. So you don't say God is good and evil. God is nice and not so nice. It's only love, peace, joy, and abundance. There is no opposite. There's opposites in the earth plane of prosperity and poverty. Like, for example, in finances, you can have an opposite. But in God, there's no prosperity and opposite poverty. There's only abundance, which is beyond our measure of prosperity and poverty. It's just to be that consciousness. So mankind has kind of drifted so far away. But the good news, I do believe, like I said, these teachings have served a purpose. They have brought a lot of people forward. I would love to see some of those teachers, being that they have so many people corralled into as followers, maybe millions. If those teachers could say, a new channeling has come through just to take us a notch up. They don't have to say I was mistaken. Just a new channeling has come through and we're going to notch it up. Don't forget God. Remember God in all that you're creating. Call God into the picture. Don't just go, well, I am God. Let's see. I need a car. Car. My mantra is car. Mercedes, car, whatever, car. And that's my mantra instead of, I am as God created me, therefore, Anything I could imagine ever needing is already going to be felt because I am as God created me. If I am as God created me, I'll have a vehicle that reflects being one with God. Jesus wore a very expensive, seamless robe. He didn't say, well, no, you should all be lowly. He wore a very highly valued garment. Not because he was saying, you check this out, man. Look at this is, finest. Don't I look fine? They threw lots to get his robe, the Romans. That's why they didn't say, let's get this guy's robe. Romans, they had money. They didn't need this from some religious kind of or spiritual kind of guy. They didn't say, we want it. They wanted it because it was valuable. All right? His clothing or whatever. So he knew how we can live in abundance. We need to pay taxes, okay, and materialize coin. For that time, that's how it would be done. You materialize coin now, you'll go to jail. But, it's true. Because the world dislikes miracle consciousness and miracle working. It does everything it can to find fault with it. That's why there are healers that aren't allowed to call themselves healers. But medicines that can kill you are allowed to be called healing medicines. It makes no sense. Barabbas, who was tried at the same time of Jesus, Barabbas broke God's laws and he was set free. Jesus broke the mankind's laws and was crucified. He's telling us in A Course in Miracles, you guys don't realize things are flip-flopped. And so when people say, I'm into manifestation, I am God, I'm using all the powers of manifestation. They say, just focus long enough, you create this energy swirls around you that you're going to manifest. Great. And now you get a car. But the problem is, the more you manifest things you can see, the further you are from the kingdom of God. You should be looking for the energy behind the things you see. Do not forget that when you manifest the new car, thank you, because it's a symbol of you being abundant, and abundant is God. It's not the car. It's the energy behind it. It's not the relationship. People so focused on, I got to manifest my soulmate, my partnership, my life, whatever, the cure to all of my problems. There is none. For somebody that keeps looking for that in other people. By looking for it in other people, you just affirm yourself sick. There's something else we're all looking for, and people have forgot what it is, and it's God. It's just remembrance. It's becoming one with the all again. You don't say, okay, fine, Michael, I get it. Fine. We don't want to hear it anymore. Fine, we'll do what you say. I want to be one with God and all that's good. As though that's little. But I need my car too, and I want my stuff too. When you truly become one with all, you don't go, and where's my partner? When you become one with all, you kind of go, wow, I need nothing. It's true. All the mystics who said it, they were telling the truth. Some of them took it too far and too much of an extreme. Buddha himself said, wow, I've done that, but you got to reel it in, man. It's balance. So know the truth, but respect the illusion. Call upon God's presence, but receive a car. That's fine. But don't pray for a car thinking it's God's presence. See what I said there? Don't ask for the thing thinking it's actually what you want. It's only consciousness. Guys, all we are is consciousness. When you think a car or a person, a body, someone with such nice legs, or whatever it is you're obsessed on, when you think, there's like a special place on the other side for people like you. It'll be like you'll walk around in a spirit body with pairs of extra legs hanging off your body. I heard you were a leg man. Poof! Get beyond. Get beyond. So there are times when I feel so alive after my workshops or something, there are times, services like this, I feel so alive that I can feel what's like the energy within myself. And if it were up to me, oh my God, like I would dance, I would just start twirling, I would, because I feel such energy. You blend with the energy that's in the space, in the room, and you just smile. You just smile like that's what children do. They feel something, they hear something, and they start to move. They start to feel, and you just drop into that. When I feel the energy of workshops, oh my God, I could just kiss and hug everybody. I would dance, and because I feel so great. And sometimes I even say, okay, I'm going to get something to eat. A lot of times I could go the day or days without eating because I just feel that energy. But at some point, there's a moment where I recognize where I want to ground myself from that energy. So I might have something. Like Edgar Cayce, when he would do his readings, when he was done, he would have some crackers. It was a heavy enough thing. Crackers, if you had a few with some water, it would kind of create a density again so he could ground that energy himself. So remember that when you get in these energies, to ground yourself. But own what's going on. I feel alive. We feel alive. That's good. You're looking for the energy, not the manifestation per se. If I were to say, and people do this, they go, oh my gosh, you're kind of attractive. And then they marry the person. The marriage was not always the call. It was just the joining, the feeling. You feel so alive. I remember the pop star, the Bee Gees, right? The one brother that people thought was really, really handsome, really good looking. He was a nice looking guy, And he once said in an interview, well, I have to admit, I have a problem. I get so addicted to the energy of being a star and then the energy of people loving me. I actually was in the habit for years of walking around with rings, plural, in my pocket proposing to women. Yeah. And it's not like, it's kind of an addiction, obviously, but what's behind it? The call for love. He feels something in his music. He feels the love of people for him. And then you go, wow, let's do something with that. Be careful. The guys that want to manifest cars, the guy that wants to marry all the way in, and all that's happening is we're trying to interpret something humanly that is not human. It's profoundly divine, and we don't know what to do. Lots and lots of drug addicts are highly creative, sensitive people. They're not just drug addicts. They're people that didn't know what else to do to deal with the feelings flowing through them. And there's not a lot of schools that'll explain it. And if you try to open one, they're going to call it illegal. Because people don't want answers. In the ego world, they don't want answers. And it's hard to have answers because like the things I just shared. I could say it, but it doesn't mean it's easy for everybody to get it and integrate it. We feel the presence of God, and you just want to wow. What humans do is they go, wow, you see a partner you're in love with, and you go, wow, and then the physical attraction, and you get in a mood. Sometimes it's just hormones. Sometimes it's, oh, I saw a movie, kind of turned me on. What about you, honey? Yeah, me too, let's go. What a weird reason to get together. And then you have a kid from it. Oh, well, there was this movie. Like, you don't matter, there was just this movie. And you're sort of the product of that. People need to get back in touch with what they're feeling. Are you feeling, and it's great, because when you can do that, are you feeling it too? Oh, thank God. Can I hug you? Because now we both know what this is really about. The grounding, the hug is just grounding. That's all it is. Or intimacy if you choose to share it that way. Or having a meal, whatever it is. All of that's just a way to ground it. Ground what? This sublime energy that's flowing through me. And it's happening. The world is changing. Even right now, a Saturn retrograde kind of a thing. And I would love to tell you, man, it's going to be over in just a few days, but I can't. It's going to be a few months. Anyway, this is a profoundly purging kind of an energy, or an awakening kind of an energy. And I see it happening, but I don't always talk about these things. I kind of think, well, okay, I wait for the guidance. And then if I hear one person talking about a symptom and they don't know where it's coming from, and another person has an energetic thing and they don't know where it's coming from, I just start to go, okay, you let me know if I'm supposed to talk about this. Because I'm not the type to try to kick the doors down and tell everybody, I'm going to tell you something. I wait, believe it or not, until I feel called to do so. So sometimes waves of things come through the earth plane and I don't talk about it. People go, well, how come you're not talking about the laws of manifestation all the time like others? Because it's taken care of already. Mishandled to a degree, but I wait only until there's an edge on it that I should probably clean up a little bit. So that's kind of how I do things. And I'm watching, because all these workshops we're doing and online courses, guys, we're all, if you're watching this, we're participating as part of God's plan, divine plan for humanity's awakening. Like, I don't just stand here doing lectures. You know, I don't come in with the good book, you know, and you know, do chapters and verses and quotes and whatevers. I don't rehearse speeches or anything like that. It's something that happens, and because I know what we're doing. I recognize we're participating in God's plan for awakening. And you could say all souls are part of that plan. That's a fact. But some are more conscious of it and participating at a greater capacity. Some have heard the call and turned it and twisted it, unfortunately, because humans can hear a divine inspiration, like even the people channeling about laws of manifestation and all that. They get something, and the mind of the channel, the being that comes through them or themselves, filters it in a way that they can accept. You see? Like the mind can filter it. The 12-step program is part of God's plan for awakening, believe it or not. Edgar Casey's work, A Course in Miracles, some things, you know, the unity movements, Christian Science, these things that are talking about reality and illusion, the things that are saying go back to God, those are all part of God's divine plan for awakening. When it comes to healing, believe it or not, there are healers and healing techniques. And they keep popping up. Oh, did you hear about the such and such a, you know, such a training, and then somebody else that does something, and you stand on one foot and then all your worries go away. And they come up with all these things. All problems, I was saying earlier, all of our issues come from ego, not God. So, if all the issues originate in our ego, even our aches and pains and aging, all of our issues come from ego, no healing art is truly effective if it doesn't involve uprooting the ego. See what I'm just saying right there? If it doesn't actually address the ego, then it's still just kind of a feel-good healing art. Is it bad? Not at all. If you want a feel-good healing art, it's good. But technically, it doesn't heal you if you don't remove the culprit that's in there making you ill in some way. So that's why I developed tracking and teaching on that level, so that people understand you have to track stuff. You have to look at what causes the problems and uproot that. That's why we're doing an online course right now on Wednesday nights. It's healing the heart and soul. You got to heal the heart and soul, not just the body. The body's going to move along with you as you heal the heart and soul. But there's teachers and teachings about prosperity that never address God. Therefore, it's not a divinely inspired experience for me. Healing, all kinds of healing arts, if it doesn't access the ego, then it's not truly healing. See, and I won't settle. And that's kind of my thing. I'm kind of like, well, why don't we just go all the way? Why don't we get as deep into this as we can, whatever the consciousness might be? So there's a divine plan I see happening. And, I pick up, people posting things when they watch us have talks like this. They post things, does anybody notice this going on, or anybody struggling? And Saturn return is happening, so a lot of stuff for people to learn. People are saying, I'm feeling kind of a buzzing in my spine. What's that? That's been happening for many thousands of years for people to feel some Kundalini energy. But that's happening more and more for people. But be careful not to become a Kundalini casualty. Don't try to force. Don't try to take heaven by force. Don't try to stand there and like you're starting a motorcycle. Kundalini, up, let's go. Kundalini, oh my God, I'm seeing light. Now I don't know my name. And you walk around streets. That's not helpful. The Kundalini rises with your consciousness or with your forcing it. Now, which one is God and which one's the ego? And God doesn't say, I want you to raise your Kundalini, I'm going to help you, and you're going to end up a casualty. Something had to have gone wrong when you move Kundalini energy and it has an adverse effect. Somehow it was ego-based, it was premature, or even sometimes there's issues or blocks in us that it hits and purges and it sets off our nervous system. Just because it has a little bit of an odd effect doesn't mean it's always adverse. It just depends where it all ends up. But healing, the deepest levels, spirituality to the deepest levels. People are and I kind of hint to these things for a while, then I let it go, and then they start surfacing again, and people go, hey, did you hear about this? And it's like, yeah, remember, look back 2 years ago at a lecture I did and said this is going to start happening. But I try not to overly push these things so that we don't look like we have an ism that we're selling. But Christ consciousness is happening. Christ is who we really are. It's not a Christian term. Christ, or the I am presence within us, is who we really are. That's our real name. I am that I am. I am the holy child of God, the Christ. And because I'm awakening the Christ, I being any of us who choose to, because I and we are awakening the Christ, there are going to be symptoms. The old life, like was read by Joshua for our morning reading, the old life is going to die. It's going to fade away. But it doesn't mean, okay, old life goes and I'll have exactly the same thing tomorrow. That's human. I want everything the same. If I get rid of one dysfunctional relationship, I got to make sure I replace it with at least one other. Everything's got to look familiar, even if it's messed up. The Christ doesn't do that. The Christ says, crucify me, I'll resurrect, and I'll be even higher than I was before. The Christ keeps going, man, take me higher. Take me higher, God. Here we go. High, never settling for death of any kind, other than the death to achieve a reawakening. The death meaning an ending. So there are people describing this. So in case you missed some of this in previous talks somewhere in the past, you're going to start noticing your hands igniting more. You're going to start noticing chakras, minor chakras awakening in your feet. And you're going to notice your crown opening and buzzing a little bit more. Like I can, just as I say that, I could start feeling it happening in my crown just talking about it. I do. And there's chills and all that, goosebumps when I'm, so that's, I'm describing it and that's what happens. But if you listen to what I just described, it's a spiritual form of stigmata. The reason your feet, your hands are igniting your crown is because you're experiencing the Christ crucifixion without crucifixion. Your feet, your hands are getting punctured, so to speak, but spiritually. And the crown, because the crown of thorns. You might even feel the ache in this region because of the spear. Because the spear, the thorns, the spikes, those weren't just puncturing Jesus. Jesus chose a form of crucifixion or a form of death that was going to be symbolic of activating 5 major centers in the body. The Da Vinci, man. I'm awakened. Even to the most extreme parts of my being, I'm awakened. All right? So I'm going to share a quote, or a couple of quotes with you from Lost Books of the Bible. This is good context for the healing class that we're doing right now. First, if you bring forth what is within you, it will save you. If you do not bring forth that which was within you, it will destroy you. This is quotes of Jesus. If you bring forth that which is within you, he's talking about light, but he's also talking about your wounds. If you bring them forth, they will save you. Bring them out. Come on, talk them out. It doesn't matter what it is. Create safer and safer people to talk to. When someone shares with me, Michael, I like this or I don't like this. I like you, I don't like you. I'd say, just go ahead and say it. Well, I hesitate. No, say it. Be as tactful and respectful as you can, but say it. If you're going to just be rude or project, I'm not interested. But say it. What do you want? Share that. Oh, you're having financial issues and you would like us at Unity to somehow see if we can help you in any way. Just say it. Oh, but I'm embarrassed. Why? It's okay. Teach people that anything they're feeling is okay, because if it's not and they stuff it, it says it will destroy you. Your shames, your guilts, your regrets, your pasts, etc. They will, he says, destroy you. Even light, when it's wanting to come out and you stuff it, it will destroy you. So in a sense, he's saying, just have no shell. The light shines in and it reflects back. If there's any wounds, they shine out and are dispersed. Just have this beautiful ecosystem, the wave in, the wave out. There's no block. There's no stuck. There's no challenge. There's no embarrassments. To the best of your ability, say what you have to say. Whether it's, your kids and you assure them it's okay, share it. I did say be loving and tactful. Technically, you could say, but I want to be heard even if I'm being a jerk right now. I get you, but it's always easier for people to hear you when you're responsible. And if you think, well, they're not hearing me, don't talk about them not hearing you. Talk about how you might not have been coming from a very loving or responsible place. Because it's almost impossible when you're being loving, tactful, responsible, for people to not hear you at least a little. It's usually when we slip that we sort of, lose our minds and act out, and then they kind of get upset. It doesn't matter. You folks at classes or here sometimes, Michael, can I have a hug? They'll say, Michael, can I ask you a strange question? You should go ahead. Well, it feels, no, go ahead. Well, can I have a hug? Come here. Hug, come here. Ask for a hug, smile, whatever you need to do, whatever's in, just ask. It doesn't mean you'll always get what you're asking for, nor should you be attached to getting what you ask for. But I just think, and I truly believe, the day will come when people will marvel that we can ask for and just dance. When I ask for something you can't do, you say no, and we dance in okayness around that. That it's okay. Listen, I've just fallen. Can you give me a hand up? Actually, I can't. I just had back surgery. Oh my God, good for you. How do you feel? I'm still on the ground, mind you, but how are you feeling? Yeah, I'm feeling better. Could you do me a favor and see if somebody else is available? Sure. See, it's okay. Instead of, how dare you, you selfish post-surgeon, post-surgical patient or whatever. Just let it go. Find peace. That's a great quote. Another one. The kingdom is inside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will realize that you are holy children of God. But if you will not know yourselves, then you dwell in poverty, and you are that poverty. When you don't know who you are that poverty, which is what I was saying earlier about, people doing manifestation of still material things, saying, I've proven I am God because I manifested this. I have evidence. Look at it. It wasn't there yesterday. It's there today. See, I manifested it because I got into my divine consciousness. It's not true. If you haven't figured that out, neediness can also create things. Addictiveness can create things. Compulsions can create things. Broken-mindedness can still make things happen. So, he says, the person of age and experience who can still ask a child about the place of true life, everlasting life, that person will find everlasting life. Even a person of age and experience knows you can reflect answers anywhere. Even a 7-year-old, he says in the particular quote. The person of huge academic background that still knows you can still get an answer from a 7-year-old. That person will find everlasting life. And that's not just a 7-year-old metaphor. It's us, guys. You're sitting here, you're hearing things. You're watching, on the internet and whatever, and you're hearing things that make sense. They work your heart. You can feel it. You don't have to have had a certain background to confirm that this is true. That's more spiritual than the heady stuff. His disciples say to him, what do we need to do to awaken? Do we fast? Do we pray? Do we give to charity? And what diet should we observe? Jesus says, be honest and do not do the things that are not in alignment with your true heart. After all, there's nothing hidden that will not eventually be revealed, and there's nothing covered up that will remain undisclosed. Meaning, find God, find love in your heart, and use that as your compass. Try not to do things that are out of alignment with that, because that's what will hold it, that very thing will hold it against you. It's not a God in the sky that says, oh, you were naughty today. Every day, and Edgar Casey said this, when people would ask him, should I or shouldn't I? He would say, that depends on this. Is this true for you? If it is true, if A is true, don't do B. If you say, I'm ready for a life mate, I'm ready for a healthy partner, then stop settling. You betray yourself. And then you say, well, why didn't God warn me? In how many more ways? Did you not hear me just say this? You heard this talk and you still went. If you don't want a ghoul, stop dressing for Halloween. Stop dressing up for a scary kind of an experience, meaning stop putting it out there. Stop looking desperate and you won't get people that love preying upon desperate people. I can't believe they took advantage of me. Of who? Did they take advantage of the God in you? No. Of the person that said, I'm so alone, unloved, unlovable. If just anybody would please come in. Well, you got to just anybody. Okay. So, one last quote. Those who seek will find. Those who seek will find. And when you find, you'll become disturbed. And then when you're disturbed, you'll eventually marvel, and you will reign over all and be masters. And what that means, in part, is when you seek, you will find. Means anything you seek, you will find. Because it's what you put your consciousness on. Somebody then took that and said, oh, I want a car. I'm going to seek it. I found it. Look, vroom, look, I got keys and everything. You're still not hearing. Matter doesn't matter. Matter is only a reflection of our inner selves. So if you make it known to yourself, your friends, people around you, the universe, I settle for material things, the universe says, and so it is. We're sorry to hear that. That's it? Yes. Just show me stuff and it's evidence. I believe in God because I want a new podium and I got it. A car or whatever it is. Relationship. I wanted it. I got it. There we go. Well, the sad thing is, you just said to the universe, I'm so small that a little tangible piece of collected molecules will be my evidence that there's a God. And it's a car or a meal or whatever it is you think you want. A bottle of wine, whatever is important to you. We're supposed to be saying, seek first the kingdom, which means the consciousness of God, and everything else comes. It does. Seek first the consciousness of God. One of the biggest challenges as we become masters, because he says, seek and you will find, and when you find, you'll become disturbed. It's a strange, way to say things to people. Why would you become disturbed? Because when you first get on the path and look within, you will not like what you see. You're going to see the source of the addict. You're going to see the source of any failed relationship. You're going to see things you don't like because it's the broken self. Beneath the masks are the wounds. Who wants to look at that? I've had people say to me quite often, in different forms, different groups, oh no, you don't have to look at that stuff. If you do not bring it forth, it will destroy you. Teaching things like about intimacy and sacred sexuality and relationships and topics like that. I've spoken at conferences and you've got all these amazing tantric master sex addict people doing lectures there. And then I go and do a talk and I talk about how you can't just bring out this wonderful sensual self without looking at the broken addict self. And they're like, oh, no. You just ignore that because when you're marveling in the sensual experience of Tantra, you dance and you do everyone, and you just enjoy. And then you just don't even see any of the wounds. And it's like, you know what you've done. Jesus called it in the Gospels, you're polishing the outside of a tomb, but inside is still dead men's bones. You're making it look good, man. You're dressed up and you put flowers around your neck. And you call each other, hello, beloved goddess, which means I want to do you. And then, hello. You still use all these fancy terms, beloved, and oh, Shakti, oh, yes, Shiva, oh, beloved. And they walk around, and it just still means the same. Can I have your room key? Can I have your room key? And they're all doing the same thing. And I'm saying, guys, you've got to look at those compulsions. Where are they coming from? Because if you heal that, what'll happen next? You look at the disturbed, you take that out, and then he says, and then you will marvel. Why? Because you go, I'm free. Now, I love all of you. I dance with you. And if we decide maturely to be intimate, it's from a healthy self. It's not me being pulled by addictions or brokenness. It looks so much the same on the outside at the end. But someone there is healthy and someone is not healthy. And what I'm saying is, let's be healthy. More and more, let's not settle. Let's say, seek first the consciousness of God, and everything else will follow. You don't say, seek first the kingdom of God, and then you might as well give it up, because now it's vows of poverty and chastity. Oh man, we did lifetimes of that. It wasn't fun. Now, we're realizing we can connect with God and dance. Not just walk around, have you heard the word of the Lord? All depressed. Who wants to hear that? Instead, why are you so happy all the time? Why do you have such a smile? It resonates. It's shining from inside out. That's what it's supposed to look like. It doesn't mean we don't have bad days. Have a bad day and let that which is within come forward. Cry, talk, counsel, share. and be held if that's what you need. Perfect. After you move through that, light starts to emerge. So any of you watching, hearing, sharing with other people, and they say, I'm doing healing work, but it's so challenging. Please remember, it's expected to be challenging in a sense. But if you feel like you're doing a lot of internal work and not feeling a lot of the happiness that comes after the fact, like you cry and so forth, you should have a feeling when you're done of refilling with God. If you're not refilling your cup with God, you might be missing something, because you're not supposed to only work on wounds, because Jesus didn't say, seek and you will be disturbed and stay disturbed. Good luck. He said, then you will marvel, then you will find everlasting peace in life. Because he's saying, you don't just dig up the stuff and release it, you replace it with something new. So give yourself, even if you're struggling, and even if you've got energetic shifts in the body, and even if you see Saturn reflecting certain lessons, and even if you see you're going through the dark night of the soul, and even if you've lost a loved one or a friend or whatever, and even if you struggle with politics of the world today, whatever it is, give it to God and then replace it with a greater presence. If you're looking for happiness in politics, no wonder you're miserable, because it doesn't bring you happiness. And even if you think it does. No, there was one president who, guess what? Eventually they resign and move on. They leave and move on. Now you're miserable again. Anything in this world you seek to fill you can't last, Buddha said. You're going to end up miserable again. So what are we supposed to do? Get another thing? No. There's only one thing that gives you what you're looking for. The presence of God, and it is found here. It doesn't mean don't read a book and don't go to a workshop, because that's how we learn to do these things. And be in groups of people where we can process this very thing. Because some people will say, well, you shouldn't have to deal with groups. That's old school groups and stuff. Now it's all found within, so climb up on the red rocks and be. And that's actually not true. It's just another way that people want to diss the concept of gathering in light. Remember, we're entering the Aquarian Age. The Aquarian Age, one of its symbols is humanity, brotherhood, sisterhood. It means us gathering, not individuality. And whether we're gathering or not, you're still supposed to be integrating within your own individual self that which you've learned, and that's what you're ready to dance. If I feel like dancing, I just had the 5-day intensive I mentioned here, and I'll say something real quick about that. The first day, and I'll say, it's, people are getting to know each other, but I sensed something was odd about this group, this class. Never had this before. And I thought, there's something, disturbance in the force. So I waited, went home, and then I got it. Came back, and it was, for the first time, like all the people attending, like 90-something% of them, it was their first time ever attending something of mine. They watch online, they do, but they don't know how weird I am. They don't know. So I show up, and I'm wearing like swim trunks and a t-shirt. My hair's in a ponytail. I'm like ready. And some of them are like, he doesn't look like that online. He seems so, nice and spiritual. And I'm like, okay. Hey, guys. Gnawing on cookies, for the morning. How's it going, guys? And it seems so different, but it's not at all incongruent. Because even up here, I talk about that. So we go into the workshop, and it was an odd, spontaneous request of Megan, one of our attendees. And, I think it was her and maybe another person or two said, can we play some music before we start? Because people were just coming in. And we put on some Earth, Wind & Fire, and then some of this and that. And the whole group, by the time they arrived, everybody for a half hour were just dancing. So that which didn't feel like connected the first day, doesn't mean it was noticeable to anybody else. I'm saying you're just attending a workshop. But I could feel something different. And the dancing, the letting go, the celebrating changed everything in that vibe of that workshop. All of a sudden, I was like, yes, this is so cool. Because people, even at workshops, they'll hold back a little bit and maybe gradually come out. Hopefully by the end of the 5 days. But I remember that tendency we have as humans. As a kid, I was one of those, man, in middle school. Stand against the, remember in the gymnasium? Just like in the movies. I was one of the nerds just standing there afraid, if you don't have a girlfriend, who are you going to dance? Who's going to dance? Only people with partners are dancing. So I'm one of the guys just standing against the wall. You go. No, you go, man. You first. No, I dare you. Just getting nowhere. But remember this. No, okay, I'm going to go after the end of this song. Next song, oh, this song sucks. I'm not going to. Then the next song, okay, I'm going for sure this time. Oh, it's a slow song. No way. So all excuses. Humans do this in spirituality, even as mature. We wait, we hesitate, we push it back. We don't allow things in. Good things, we don't allow in, which is very sad. But even the hurts and the pains, we don't want to see them because it brings up too much stuff for us. But it's right. Let it be disturbing at first because you will find bliss. And then finally there would be the courage. Okay, fine. All right, guys, fine. I'm guaranteed the next song. I'm going out there. All right, watch this. And then song finishes. All right, thanks for being here tonight. And dance is over. I was going to go. No, you weren't. Yes, I was. It's too late. So it's the same games we play. Jesus said, get what you can from me while I'm here. Because there will come a time when I won't be here. He doesn't mean I'm going to walk away from you. He means it's going to be harder for you to hear good things when I'm gone and you're relying on trying to hear it within yourself. Right now, you're lucky because I'm here mirroring it to you. And I feel the same way. Not just that you're lucky because I'm better. You are lucky because I am here devoting my life to you. But I'm also lucky that you're here because you're mirroring everything that I'm saying to me. I wouldn't be talking about the same things if I was just sitting twiddling my thumbs. We're in a relationship. We're all mirroring light to each other. And it's this amazing process. But we're not just in a process. We're in one that is part of God's divine plan for humanity's awakening. And there's no like B- on that. This is A+ all the way. Stay in the A+, even if you never hear me again or attend here again. Stay in the A+. Stay dedicated to the highest you can get. Do not push it away. Get out and dance, even if you're scared to ask. Because you'll hear no, possibly. And once or twice. Eventually there'll be a yes. And you'll feel totally different. Totally different. One of those dances when I was a kid, shy as heck and all that, going through all that. And for some reason, one particular dance, I don't know if it was a dare or something, this one really well-respected girl, she had this lipstick on, and she came over, could I give you a kiss? I was like, she does. When I went back, my friends, they were like, oh, dude. Oh, my life changed. And what I'm saying is, when you just let even a little something different happen, it can change things for you. A hug, counseling and sharing something to your counselor you haven't shared before, any movement, any shift from the concrete that we live in. That one little meaningful thing, I was probably in 8th grade, and I still remember it. Because it was like, because the shy and all that little kid, it doesn't mean like I ran for president the next day or something. I meant president of the school, not the other kind. Sorry. I probably could have won. Apparently anybody can. So, sorry. Anyway, so, feel it. Draw it in. Let yourself laugh again, please. There's always something to laugh about. It's all in the timing. Sometimes the timing is not appropriate. There's always something you can laugh about. There's always something you can smile about. And if you don't know of anything, try being of service and you'll find something to smile about. Go work in an animal shelter and give an animal a second chance. I saw something recently that just really crushed me in a way, but it was just something about children that kept getting put up for adoption and what do you call the parenting, when you fostering. And man, it just hit me watching this special on that, seeing the kids that just go through such crap, abuses first of all. And I just thought, it's just so weird that we can do what we do. We can have the wealth we have and not take care of children. It's just the dumbest thing in the world to me. And animals and people being so abusive to people, and I just think, God, anything we can do to make a difference, guys. Like I've said many times, if you have 4 houses, give 1 away. If you have 4 cars, give 1. Just keep, if I were a billionaire, I would make millionaires. Every year I'd make 10 millionaires. Just hand 10 people $1 million. You're never going to go broke. If you're a billionaire, you can afford, give it. Just make people into millionaires. Do something or improve their housing or something. There's so many things you can do for good. It just blows my mind that people think, I'll just keep accumulating. And the sad thing is you will come back and you will pay for that. You won't be able to keep that which you try to hide within or store within. Mine, mine, mine. That which you keep will destroy you. And that which you share will give you life, even if it's your woundedness. So shine, man. Shine the light. You guys can feel it in what I'm saying, I think. An activation of chakras. This isn't coincidence. There's DNA developing, new DNA. Things are happening. There are light beings coming here more and more often. Not so visible, mind you, invisible to the human eyes. The higher the dimensionality of those beings, the less visible they're going to be to you. When they look gray and creepy and have metallic things and they're messing with you, that's not exactly the highest species. The denser they are, the denser they are. Try not to, worship dense and try not to date dense. Do you see me reading notes? I swear I don't rehearse. This just happens. I'm so sorry about it. I mean not to offend. But if this bothered you, look within. It will at first seem disturbing. But stay the course and it will free you. Let's take a few centering breaths. Do you feel it? Let's quote unquote meditate on the feeling. Anything you heard that made sense, any laughter, any tears, let's just be with them for a moment. What's happening? Paraphrasing barely, having to change the words of a song. What is happening to me? Crazy, some would say. Where is the old life that I recognize? And then in the background, the lyrics say, gone away. But I won't cry for yesterday. In the ordinary world, I will learn to survive. Somehow I have survived. Beautiful, great, deep lyrics. Something is happening. Don't cling to the past, the old ways. I'm not saying don't process old hurts. Don't cling. Let's imagine ourselves right now. What if there's no shell? What if there's nothing that can contain you? The only reason we have a container called a body is because we think of ourselves as so small we can be contained. Because there's not much here anyway. But we're not containable when we're really who we are. God, light, the Christ, the I am presence. So let's imagine gradually the dissolving of our shell. The fading away of our shell. And observe, how do you feel if there's no shell to contain you? What if your light in your heart center can just start shining so bright, nothing contains it? Is it intimidating? Is it marvelous? Just continue it. With every breath, imagine filling up this light pouring from the heavens down into our hearts, giving us the power, the ability to grow brighter and brighter in light. Knowing that it'll happen at a pace that I can manage. Given to me according to my faith. And the light just shining brighter. What if my light shines so bright, the old stuff, the stuff of the world, the past, doesn't bother me anymore? I just don't even feel like hanging out with certain kinds of people. Not because I'm calling them bad. They don't seem to resonate with this light. And if they don't resonate with this light, it might be best for me not to bring that light to their space. It might bother them. So out of love and respect for them, I'll keep away from that. I'll bring my light wherever it's accepted. I'm not here to cause conflict. I'm here to dance. Imagine just the light shining so bright, you hug everyone, and it's okay. Playful, squeezes, kiss, 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 the way a mother could her child, or a grandmother or grandfather their child, grandchild. So much love, it can't be contained. So much love that you pay a bill forward for someone. It's all right. It's all right to be in the store and sing to yourself while you're walking down the aisles. And we can, with levity, say it's kind of expected in Sedona. But not everybody lives in Sedona. So let's support them. Let's support them. It's all right. You dance in the aisles, those of you who live in Iceland and Madagascar, South America, the Far East, who are watching and maybe think it's not appropriate somewhere out there. If not us, then who? And if not now, then when? Just then start with a smile. Start with humming. And then let the humming eventually become a song. Twirl when you're ready to twirl. Dance when you're ready to dance. Everything in its time. But when you share your light and it's with others, make sure it seems like it's something they're okay with. The light is to shine and bring warmth and light, just like light. To shine and bring warmth, not to burn. So we all have to keep fine-tuning the boundaries, the appropriateness. And sometimes when we shine a certain way and dance a certain way and somebody's not in that space, it's okay to say, oh, sorry, and just hang back a little bit. Twirl and dance the next room when you enter it, or the next location. So let's all visualize that for a moment. Us shining our light, being what God created us to be. How could you find out that you're a holy child of God and be bummed about it? Just so see what it looks like. What if you're cut loose? It's got to at least look as good as if you won the lottery. How would you look if you won the lottery? How much more would you smile? How much more excitement and enthusiasm for life would you feel? That's all we're asking. Picture it. And be aware of the song coming through you that says, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not enough thank yous. Because it means yes, yes, yes. I am that I am. God is, I am, we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Take your time, please. Gradually stretch out. I pray this has made good sense. It really covered a lot, but hopefully you're aware of how much it covered. Because underneath all that are the expressions of foods and dating and all these human things that we can change our interaction with them when we recognize our value and allow our light to shine. And in this world, it is a little strange, the light to shine. I do get that. It's not that acceptable. It's kind of funny if you think about it. When I mentioned politics, which I'm not into, so don't worry, I'm not going anywhere big on that. But they use this term Congress when they gather to make decisions, right? In Tantric Buddhism, Congress means making love. So it's kind of funny if you think about it. Congress has, gathered. Oh,
You should send them an anonymous note to them.
Yeah, send them a note to that effect. You never know. They could use it. Everyone in the world can use seeing things from a different place, right? Light. Were you able to visualize that in the meditation a bit? Your light expanding. You may have felt a little like, ooh, wait, not too much. That's normal. Doesn't make you bad. It's normal to go, wait, no container? What you mean? Well, it has to have some. Well, when you hear that you're hearing a conversation with yourself. You're having a relationship with yourself to go, hey, Michael, what's going on? Well, I'm just, making sure that it's not shining too bright. Why? Not that it's bad, but why? Is there, and then watch the dialogue that comes up. Because I can learn about myself just by seeing even my spiritual inhibitions. Well, it shouldn't burst all at once. Well, why? How come? And then you'll see some things about yourself. Well, if it burns out really brightly all at once, it might burn out. Oh, you see, so that's a belief system. It might expire. It might intimidate. People might know where to find me. You just watch and see what dialogues come up because you learn about yourself.